The Sweet Life Travel Podcast is here at The Point. And the question is, what's the point? Here to tell us all about the point and more, we've got Murphel. Murphel. I love the play on names. So let's start at the very beginning. How did Murphel come about? And what's the point?
It seems as if Phil is consuming her alcohol.
All right.
So
To lighten the tongue, I would imagine.
I'll stick to the point.
Stick to the point. We can work with that.
Yes. Well, the point, we conceptualize the point. We bought the worst house in the best neighborhood.
Oh my goodness. Tell us. That already sounds intriguing.
And we decided that we're gonna do whatsoever it is. And in that journey to get it to where we want it to be, and we're not at 100% based on our standards, but in the journey we decided that we wanted to share all the love that we poured in to others who would love to make the point their home away from home.
Oh my goodness. I like it. That sounds great. And so we have heard from the Mer, and now we need the Fel. Hi, Fel.
Hi.
Tell us, what has it been like being the wind beneath the wings?
Wow. Well, Mervin and I makes all the decisions when it comes on to making this house what we want it to be. At times we would disagree, but then we find a common ground and it always comes out beautiful in the end. Um, it's been a long journey, difficult task, putting everything together, but we've made it this far and we're going to continue to make it what we want it to be. So
That's the point.
that's
That's
the
the
point.
point. I know. And ladies and gentlemen, I need to tell you, this has made this point for me has become a statement piece. And all of you who know me any at all, I love fine things. And it is very easy for me to state my admiration. And as we journey together, we're going to show you, you now have to come over and visit, watch, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the newest YouTube channel. What's the point? If you really want to capture the essence of this wonderful home away from home. Now with what's going on in Jamaica, staycations are the rave. But that's just for us. And sometimes as Jamaicans we fail to realize the magnificence of what we have here. But I tell you this, just even this morning, colleagues of mine were searching all over for intimate little getaways for their clients. And the point made a grand appearance in that particular discourse because right away, as we even started to describe what to expect, what to enjoy, the interest was just absolutely overwhelming. But I'll tell you my take on it in a while. Mervyn, if you don't mind, what's the most intriguing thing you would like your guests to look forward to when they come to the point?
Authentic Jamaican residence that basically allows our visitor, our guests, to feel as if they are at home for longer than they are staying here. So we want them to take away memories of being at the point and also to be able to experience some of the offerings that we have as well as the offerings that the surrounding neighborhood provides. And when I say neighborhood, I will extend even to Ocherius, the
Sounds
Duns
good.
River, the Green Grotto Caves, and the food,
Dolphin Cove,
the Dolphin Cove,
the
and
Portosico
Portosico
Beach.
Beach
Oh,
Park.
Puerto Rico, of course, that's right here.
Yes,
Okay, so
and
they don't have to go far for beach.
no, and
Mm.
even mixing this buying base, this interacting with the locals, getting a coconut.
Getting a coconut, that's important.
Yes,
Your water coconut and
yeah,
your jelly wash
yes,
off the heart, eh?
yes.
That's
Getting
right.
fresh fish from the guy who calls us to say, hey, I just came in.
Nice, nice. And I'm just looking around and I'm seeing wonderful opportunities just for a barbecue on the outside. What say
Yes,
you?
you know, you just tried to bring out the fire in me,
Well,
and I'll just,
blaze it,
I,
blaze it.
I won't give away everything.
Oh my goodness.
I'll let our guests come and enjoy, and they will participate if they desire. They can put the apron on
Ay,
and learn from great experienced persons
wow.
how to do a Jamaican jerk.
You know, so many thoughts are coming through my head, but I'm going to start at Discovery Bay just as a town. There is a concept that when you think of St. Anne Garden Parish and when you think of tourism, you think of Ocherius. But there is a whole history behind Discovery Bay. And I don't know, Fel, do you want to take that on any at all? As to why Discovery Bay, which is where the point is located, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, why is Discovery Bay such an iconic place in the Jamaican history and landscape?
Um, it dates back to when Columbus came to Jamaica.
You know, I like to tell people he was lost, but you're the expert. Let me not mess that up.
Columbus arrived in Jamaica. The the Spaniards, they were sailing along the coast, traveling along the coast to find water, fresh water, and they came upon um, Discovery Bay, which they named Discovery Bay because this is where they found fresh water. They um, they landed at a particular section down the road there called Columbus, now called Columbus Park.
Uh-huh.
So
I remember seeing
they
that.
settled in this area because there was water in this area. Um, so Columbus Park down there now is a historical site. Visitors come from all over to come to Columbus Park to hear of the history of the Columbus and the Spaniards who settled in the area. So that is basically how it gets its name.
And you know, it's so funny because I'm the Spaniard in this whole historian story, And so when the naming was done initially, for those of you who want a little bit of background, because they spoke Spanish, they named it in Spanish, yes? So at that point, it was La Bahía de Descubrimiento. And the river that was very important in this whole affair was Rio Bueno. And I tell you, the Spaniards were very simple people. They literally just name things based on what they were good for. So, Rio Bueno translates to good river. And just a side note, in Jamaica, we have kept a lot of the Spanish names Even though we've translated some things. So Discovery Bay came from La Bahía del Descubrimiento, which is a literal translation, but they've kept the name Rio Bueno. And we have all of our names of our rivers remaining in Spanish. So just a little side note as to what you will discover as you come into this particular area. Now, I want to talk about the food. And don't want to wear it fell too much, but I tell you now, ladies and gentlemen, she has seasoning that just kind of drops out of her fingertips. You all need to sample her cuisine. And I tell you now, Jamaica is a melting pot of culinary delight. It is said that every Jamaican can cook. I can't quite say how is that. Maybe because every Jamaican likes to eat, but certainly she is someone who it's kind of hard to walk away from her table without licking fingers and sometimes, if you're not careful, toes. But talk to us, either of you, that's fine, about some of the culinary delights that make us such a unique set of people that our guests can look forward to.
Of course, our guests can look forward to our national dish because
Uh-huh.
I am an ackee lover,
There you go.
and anywhere the ackee is, I find it.
All right.
So, of course, ackee and saltfish will have you licking your 10 fingers. My rundown.
Oh, can I tell you, ladies and gentlemen?
I love to do my rundown just the same. I have another saltfish recipe, which is saltfish with vegetable, including okra.
All right.
Yes, saltfish and okra, which is a good one. If you taste my curry goat and curry
Yes,
chicken and
sir.
curry
No.
anything,
All
you're
right.
gonna want to come back.
So talk to us about the curry because there's this little thing that says that a touch of Indian resides in the best curry cookers. Do
Mm,
you have such a touch?
I don't know. Maybe, but I'm not sure. But I love curry, and I tell everybody that I am the best curry chicken cooker.
And I can attest to that, ladies and gentlemen. In my humble opinion, when she's cooking curry chicken, she should cook it in a wok,
and,
enough to serve the whole community because it's sell off.
and curry goat, just the same.
Mm.
I love curry goat too. So that is one of my signature meals. Uh, Um, plantain. I have I love plantain, ripe or green,
All
and that
right.
is grown in the backyard. So most times when I want some plantain, I just go to the backyard
So we're
to get
talking
my
about
plantain.
farm to table, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting like so much better.
So I have my green bananas to go with my rundown in the
Mm-hmm.
backyard,
Mm.
my green plantain in the backyard, ripe plantain in the backyard as well. So most of what I prepare were learned through trials and failure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I just continue to touch them up until they are perfect enough
Perfect.
for me and others, of course.
Of course, if we can pass your taste test, then we're good. You need to tell us something, though. There's something that you have kept from us. Please. We cannot stop this discourse on food without talking about what the Italians call polenta. In Jamaica, we call it turn corn meal. Talk up the things, then. Tell us about that bad turn corn meal we you did last night.
Oh man. Whoa. You know, the first time I did turn call me, I had to call my mother on the phone and ask her how it's done.
All right.
Because
It was a personal request.
Oh, okay.
yes,
Oh, wow.
Mervyn
Oh.
wanted it. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to try and get it done for it. So I had to call my mother and I asked her how it is done, and she told me. And from there, I continue to improve on it until I find the right balance.
Mm-hmm.
And now I make the Western cornmeal
And I can
polenta.
second it and third it because remember, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need anything with it, Mark you. I didn't know that you could have it with curry chicken. This is all a brand new learning experience for me. I am really so excited. I know turn cornmeal with steamed fish and callaloo, but I never knew about it with curry chicken.
And it tasted great.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, it took it to a whole new level. So what's the point of coming here? Oh my goodness, you see what's going on.
That's the point.
That's the point. That's the point.
That's
But Mervyn, we're not leaving you out of the picture.
Hmm.
I see you as somebody who can handle a grill. When we have a grill and we are ready to put something on it, what can we anticipate?
Well, typically,
Mm.
uh, the Jamaican like to have their meat not too charred,
Mm-hmm.
but well done.
Right.
Uh, what we do with our jerk, especially like chicken or fish in the foil. For
Mm-hmm.
the fish, it's prepared almost immediately, and but the chicken, the seasons and the spices, the herbs are done blended, and it is allowed to marinate overnight,
Right.
and sometime 2 days.
Wow.
get the
We can only
flavors.
imagine
Those
exactly all of those
flavors,
infused flavors. Yes.
they don't just go in,
They go in.
they seep
Oh my
in,
gosh.
and it's an envy.
Mm.
I'm tempted to taste raw food.
Oh my goodness. Just from the
Just from
from
the excitement
oh.
of when it's been prepared, be it in the oven or
Mm-hmm.
outside on the grill.
Talk to us about the Scotch bonnet pepper and the whole jerk story. Yeah.
Well, the history of jerk is really historical, and I know you have said it before in your podcast, so I'm not gonna go into the
Tell us,
details
man.
of
Tell us
jerk.
because somebody missed
But
it.
jerk previously, our ancestors didn't have the benefit of refrigeration and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and in order to have their meat for a longer period, what they would do is actually do a smoking method.
Right.
But also, we like spicy food.
We do. We really
Yes,
do.
we do. And jerk was born out of that, having liking spicy food, want to protect the shelf life of our meat,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically just grew. And jerk next to ackee and saltfish is almost the next national street food,
Oh yes. Oh
and
yes.
jerk is known all over the world. um Signature really for jerk is Scotch bonnet pepper,
Mm-hmm.
pimento, and there are others, and there are multiple variations that exist.
Correct.
And for you to know how it's done at the point,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have to get here.
We have to get here to get it done
Yes,
just right. This is
yes,
a little side note, but it just came into my head, and maybe you all can help us. Do you know about Kreng Kreng? As you
yes.
spoke about that with a history, I just kind of went into that little journey. So tell us, and this is unwrapping the Jamaican experience.
Yes. Well, years ago when there was no free refrigeration,
Mm-hmm.
what happened is that what would happen is that say the cow, the pig, the goat, whatsoever it is,
Mm-hmm.
animal that was slaughtered for consumption. What would happen is it would be a community event. So
Ah.
what would happen is that if we're gonna just say Mass Joe.
Of
If Mass
course.
Joe had a cow, he couldn't consume the entire cow for his family.
Right.
So what would happen is that he would take that cow, section it up, and they would dry portions of the meat, the different families, so
Ah.
that entire cow would be separated, and various families would get based on their needs and the
Mm.
family size, that type of thing. But they would still have excess.
Okay.
And what they would do is that they would have this area which is above a wood based fire,
Okay.
and what would happen is that they would hang the meat there,
Mm-hmm.
and the smoking process would serve as an extremely well preservative,
Ah.
and that little area is basically the krang krang.
Okay. Did they salt it or it was
Yeah,
just the
well, yes,
smoke?
some salt and some amount of salt in and smoke, but um some families would also do a pickle or a
Oh.
spice rub,
Oh.
that type of thing, to have it. So it would vary from family to family.
Mm-hmm.
And some of that would be used in the soups and that type of thing. And while we're talking about soups, I'll
Mm-hmm.
just segue back to Phil,
Mm-hmm. I
who,
love soup, just so that you know, right?
oh yeah, she makes a crazy soup.
Oh, jeez. You should have told me this earlier. I would have put a request in.
Oh, yeah, yes. Um, and what's exciting about her soup, I mean, other than all of those infused flavors,
Mm-hmm.
is that the sizes, even the corn.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a cup of her soup, you can have all of the ingredients in a small cup, because she
Wow.
spends the time to make sure that the size of the individual pieces and parts, as I would say, that go
Mm-hmm.
into the soup is such that it's manageable. So even a child can have it. It's not too spicy, but
Awesome.
it's, well, it tastes quite well. And what happened is that regardless of your portion size, you are almost guaranteed to get a piece of a little
Everything.
of everything,
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, have I made my point? I have a funny feeling I have.
because you're at the point.
I'm at the point. I am sitting under the stars, and it is just really worth the effort. It takes my breath away, literally. And I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to share with this amazing couple. Son of the soil. You know, I am 100% Jamaican, and I go absolutely crazy when I see our Jamaicans rise to the occasion and really make a huge statement. And so, in terms of that authentic Jamaican experience without compromise, I would recommend strongly that on your next vacation planning, your next opportunity to live like a local, you give the point due consideration, because as we say here at Share Fantastic Travels and Resorts Limited, we are minimizing the hassle and they maximize all your fun. It has been a wonderful experience, and I'm happy to have shared with both of you in your wonderful experience at the point and your closing words as we say adieu.
That's the point. You must visit the point.
And the point is spelled Pointe. That's the point.
That's the point. So, ladies, do not forget to remember you need to subscribe. Newest YouTube channel. What's the point? And we are going to have not only this podcast, but we're going to have many other journeys, because you see, We're going to get into the kitchen, we're going to get into the countryside, and we're going to show you that there's so much to the point. I'm Sharon with Mervyn and Phil saying ciao for now.
Bye.